Welcome once again to The Old Man Speaks. Joshua here. I come to you 3 times a week and talk to you for about 5 minutes. I was thinking that there are some things that I used to say that I don't say anymore. I used to say that if two people have an opinion that are opposite or very different, that the truth lies somewhere in between the two of their opinions. But then people come up to you and they say, you know, Paul McCartney died in 1966. The world is flat. The Rothschilds run everything. There is nothing between that and anything else that represents reality. So I stopped saying this a long time ago. I remember I used to say when I worked in a very difficult work situation that what I did for a living, I just did for money. It really didn't matter. I started life when I came home, and I separated out what I did during the day and everything else. I told that to somebody. I don't remember who it was. They looked at me and they said, "Really?" And I knew right at that moment that I was lying to myself. So I stopped saying that. My mother used to have a saying that people took issue with. She said, what you are at 7, you'll be at 70. I think the truth of the matter is that people at 7 years old are not allowed to be themselves. Between school, the stress of being 7 years old, all the demands at home, they really can't express themselves. But hopefully, as time goes along, and they become teenagers and then adults, they're allowed at some point the opportunity to start expressing themselves and becoming that person who they are. More and more people are looking to the internet for amusement, and we find amusement in trivial and odd ways. I like going to weird videos on YouTube and looking at the comments. For example, Yoko Ono doing what it is that she does at an art museum, howling away into a microphone. Some of the comments read, "It's like a hyena sitting on a washing machine." One teenager commented, "My dad entered the room because he heard this from the other room, and I quickly switched to a porn site because it was way easier to explain and less embarrassing." Another viewer commented, "I feel so bad for the microphone." Another person said, "I wasn't even there, but I wanted my money back." Another source of internet amusement are Amazon reviews. I thought I'd go to Amazon, find some of the greatest recordings of all time, and see why people gave it 1 and 2 stars. Here's a great reason to give Joni Mitchell's Court and Spark 1 star. "This was ordered by my ex-boyfriend. I've already deleted it from iTunes already." How about this one for Joni Mitchell's Blue? "I thought this was a CD. It turned out to be a cassette. This was supposed to be a birthday gift, so I had to make other arrangements." Here's one for Joni Mitchell's The Hissing of Summer Lawns. "Ah, Joni Mitchell. Initially, I really liked this album. Then I heard it coming through tinny speakers from a tenant down the hall. I eventually began to call it pissing on someone's lawn. I think I'll go listen to some Neil Young." One of my favorite albums of all time was King Crimson Discipline. There is no bass on the record. It has a Chapman stick as played by Tony Levin, and that handles the bass. This reviewer writes after a very long and very ridiculous review, "There's lots of fretless bass on this album. It's hard to play fretless bass, and bassists who can play the fretless bass pride themselves on their ability to play the fretless bass. I hate the fretless bass. Just goes to show you, if you ever look at a product's reviews, always look to see if the bad reviews are reasonable or legitimate, because sometimes they're just ridiculous. Until next time, have yourself a great week. See you in a few days.